A teacher at Laredo Elementary School was arrested for driving under the influence early Friday morning. Alexandria Nunez, age 29, was pulled over by police after an officer observed her vehicle, a blue Toyota SUV, traveling at high speeds on San Jose Boulevard around 12:50 a.m. According to Nunez's arrest report, her vehicle almost lost control after making an abrupt 90-degree turn onto Sunbeam Road while traveling more than 50 miles per hour. Police stated that Nunez then continued to swerve in and out of multiple lanes. An officer pulled Nunez over at Jenna Trace Trail and Sunbeam Road, noting that it took nearly a quarter of a mile for a vehicle to come to a complete stop. After Nunez rolled down her passenger side window, the officer noted smelling a sweet odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle. The report also states that Nunez's eyes were glassy and bloodshot and that she was slurring her speech when talking with officers. When asked where she was before the traffic stop, Nunez replied, quote, "at my friend's party." After observing multiple signs of impairment, the officer requested assistance from a DUI officer. While awaiting for that officer to arrive, Nunez climbed out of her vehicle and stated it was cold and attempted to walk home. When Nunez got out of the vehicle, the officer said that she was unstable and could not stay balanced while walking. According to the report, the officer took Nunez's keys and put her into the back seat of her squad vehicle so she could not drive off. Once the DUI officer responded, Nunez told them she was returning home from a party where she drank one glass of wine. The officer detected multiple signs of impairment and administered a field sobriety test, which police stated was performed poorly. Nunez was then arrested on DUI charges but was later released on a bond. According to Nunez's arrest report, she was employed by the Laredo Elementary School with her occupation listed as speech. It's crazy to think that a speech teacher was drunk driving, and then once she had to do a field sobriety test or talk specifically to officers, she couldn't get her speech together. That's something right there. That is something right there. And the main thing I want to tell people before is that, if you're going to go out there and you know that you're going to drink, have somebody drive you home. Call an Uber, call a Lyft. See if you can stay directly at that friend's house. It is not imperative for you to decide that, okay, I had a little bit, too much to drink. Let me sit up there and drive myself home. She could have inevitably got somebody very much injured, or she could have had somebody's life taken with her car. As they stated directly in their report, she was swerving in and out of multiple lanes. She was going at a high rate of speed. It took police almost a quarter of a mile to get her car to come to a complete stop. Again, you don't know what can happen in between that time. In between the time of her leaving her friend's house to when the police met up with her, a whole bunch of damage could have been done. Lives could have been lost. She could have ran into the front of a store building. Like, a multitude of things could have transpired. And again, this woman did not care. This is why I state, and I'm going to state it again. If you know that you are going to go out to drink, bring other people out with you. Somebody that is going to be a designated driver. Somebody has their license up to date so that they can drive you and everybody else directly home, so that no harm, no foul. That is the best way, realistically, to handle that situation. Or better yet, don't go out and drink. Because obviously we can see that a lot of people are not competent, and a lot of people cannot handle their alcohol, and a lot of people don't know how to work in logic. They don't. So hopefully this teacher loses her job, because you shouldn't be able to teach and go out there and perform reckless behaviors like this. Because if you're like this when drunk, I can only imagine what you're like when sober.